Hello, my name is Sébastien Dubreil. I'm a teaching professor of French and Francophone Studies, Second Language Acquisition, and Technology Enhanced Learning in the departments of Languages, Cultures, and Applied Linguistics at Carnegie Mellon University, where I also occupy the role of Director of the Modern Language Resource Center and Director of Online Language Learning, even though in that role I am relying on and very much aided by Dr. Natalie Amgott, who is the Associate Director of Online Language Learning and who has been augmenting, enhancing, and improving our offerings in that space. I'm super happy to be able to share a few experiences with you today. A little bit about me before I tell you about the department and show you the project that I've been working on. Before coming to CMU, I was the director of the French language program at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville for 10 years. And then before that, I was the French language program director at the University of Notre Dame for 4 years, on the heels of getting my PhD in French and Educational Studies at Emory University. At CMU, in our department, we offer 9 languages at the undergraduate level that offer majors or minors, sometimes both. And we also have 3 graduate programs, not in the national languages, but rather we have a PhD in Applied Second Language Acquisition, a master's degree in Applied Second Language Acquisition, as well as a master's degree in Global Communication and Translation, which is a joint venture with the Department of English. So part of the leadership team of the department, so we have a department head who's currently Professor Anne Lambright, and an associate head, Dr. Adam Van Kompenol, and the coordinators of the different programs and language groups. In terms of people who answer to me, CMU has a very sort of, I guess, flat hierarchy. So I do have lecturers and adjunct faculty that I'm supervising, as well as occasionally graduate students who come through the various programs that we have and help out with the French program. So currently we have 1 PhD student, for example, who is in French. I will say that CMU is very agile in what we can offer. So every department has, every language group has a reasonable amount of autonomy in the courses that we design and offer. We do establish overall programmatic guidelines, and there is sort of a department ethos that we go by, but by and large, we are able to offer a very broad and somewhat innovative, I guess, or perhaps off the beaten path cadre of courses. So I think this ability to offer a wide variety of courses and courses that really cut across disciplines is really anchored in CMU's tradition of interdisciplinarity. We are encouraged to seek out collaborators in other units and disciplines and create new projects, be them in scholarship, in pedagogy, and overall sort of community service. So this is really, I think, the catalyst that has allowed me to work on the projects that I'm going to talk to you about today. I will say that I did catch the bug of working on these kinds of projects and these sort of collaboration while I was at the University of Tennessee, and was able to work with my colleague Carrie Staples in the School of Design on this project called Bonne Chance, where we had a team of about 20 of them overall, probably worked on the project over the last 2 years that I was there. But the initial team is about 12 students who endeavored to design a digital game aimed at teaching French to elementary level students. So the projects that I want to talk about today have been really projects that I've designed since I've been at CMU. based on what I was saying earlier about the encouragement that we have to collaborate with other units, some of my favorite people to collaborate with have become people in that space of the technology-rich sort of environment, and then trying to orient them more towards languages and culture. So people in the Entertainment Technology Center, which is a master's program that trains people to work in the entertainment industry. People in ID8, which is a integrative design and technology, arts and technology, which is an interdisciplinary undergraduate program offered out of the library, as well as the HCII, which is a Human-Computer Interaction Institute. But I've also been able to collaborate with other units or other organizations rather, like community organization, such as City of Asylum. City of Asylum is an organization that welcomes artists, primarily writers, but not only, who have sought political asylum in the United States, and they often interface with our department in various capacities. The artists that are in residence at City of Asylum are housed in these beautiful houses that sort of tell a little bit about the origins of the first artists that were welcome at City of Asylum. So based on the tenets of social pedagogies, that is taking a real world problem and using that as a basis to articulate the trajectory of a course, I collaborated with City of Asylum and during a summer, and my students endeavored to design place-based augmented reality projects based on City of Asylum's needs. So we work with the staff, and we designed two projects. One was an AR tour that actually told the story of those houses and explained a little bit what they meant.
First thing I heard on awakening was the chatter of birds. When I opened the window, the breeze greeted me with a faint fragrance. Beneath the warmth of the sun, in the sanctuary of Pittsburgh, where I take refuge, life takes place amid blooming flowers.
Thank you very much.
So the second project was more of a playful project. It was called City of Asylum Data Breach, in which the players had to solve puzzles that actually use the art that is on those facades of the houses to try to solve the problem and actually stop the breach. That one was more geared towards maybe middle school, early high school sort of audience, and it was sort of my foray into place-based geolocative sort of augmented reality kinds of experiences. And these two experiences are actually available for visitors at City of Asylum. But we can also imagine collaborations closer to our institutional context with other academic units to build interesting projects. This is Team Voxalburgh. This is a team of master students from the Entertainment Technology Center at CMU. Every year, the ETC is looking for projects, for capstone projects for their students. So you can pitch a project, and if the project gets selected, you get assigned a team that will help you build your projects. So the project that I pitched to the ETC was to design a platform that would enable users to design or put together augmented reality, place-based geolocative experiences or games. And so the team that was assigned called the Project Voxalburgh. So this is the team. So in that game, you are sent to a place in Pittsburgh called the Strip District, and we're going to retrace the cultures that have made the Strip District. So in this case, they focused on three, primarily German, Italian, and Polish. And the idea is to unearth, as the neighborhood is undergoing massive transformation through gentrification and et cetera, is to actually tell the story of the people who were here many, many years ago. And so the experience is that you are led to certain locations, And with the phone, you can actually scan mailboxes and you receive a postcard from somebody who lived in the strip district or operated in the strip district, generations ago.
Suppose you are at the strip district and open our app. First, the player will enter their player name, and then they will start a onboarding session with the magical mailbox introduced and guide the player to the interactive map. For example, if the player chooses to go to Pennsylvania Macaroni Company, they can click on the pin and scan the environment, and then a mailbox will pop up and give the player a first postcard from the NPC. And then the player will be asked to take a photo of the Pennsylvania Macaroni Company and choose their reply option and stamps to reply to the first postcard. After the player sends the postcard, they will receive a third postcard from the NPC again that reveals more story about this location.
That sort of brings the story together and tries to establish this relationship between the present and the past, and some of the values that sort of undergirded the history of the place. So that's Voxalburgh. So one of the advantages of the Voxalburgh platform is that now that it is operational or very close to it, is that we can use it to tell other stories in the Pittsburgh area, and we can partner with other communities to help them tell their stories. The other advantage is that we can also take Voxalburgh with us in a study abroad context, and for example with the students that we had last summer in summer of 2024 in Nantes, who were doing a course entitled Creative Nantes, exploring French culture through multimedia creation, and so the students can then distill their encounter with the city of Nantes and the strata of geography and history and cultures and so on and so forth, and maybe create these experiences using augmented reality in that platform. Finally, you can think of looking within at your own institutional context and your institutional community, and how it can make language and culture more visible and to be useful. So for example, CMU hosts a large number of international students, and when talking to the staff at the Welcome Center, it appeared as though there was no campus tour available in languages other than English. And consequently, when prospective students come with relatives who do not speak English as a native language, these students oftentimes spend more time translating for their relatives than they do being there for themselves and being present to the tour. And so I thought I would remedy this situation. So the way I did this is every year, the Human Computer Institute is also looking for capstone projects for their graduating seniors. And so the project I pitched was multilingual CMU, and it was this idea of building a handheld based sort of multilingual campus store, sort of web app, if you will, that would allow students or their parents or relatives to come and actually follow the tour in their own language. I was assigned a fabulous team of 5 HCI students, and we endeavored to build this app over the course of 14 weeks. And the project got so much traction that it earned the team the honors of Best HCI Project for the semester, and they got to present it at the HCI graduation. And now the provost is actually back in it, and it will be implemented. We're finalizing the development, and it will be implemented, and it will be part of the official CMU visitor experience.
Here at the CMU Welcome Center, we have a family of 2 joining the Tartan Ambassador Tour. The daughter is bilingual, but the mother is only fluent in Chinese, so she struggles to understand what the Tartan Ambassador is talking about. The ambassador directs the mother to a multilingual tour guide application by scanning a provided QR code with her phone. Here, she selects Chinese and is given some brief onboarding instructions on how to use the web application. At each stop, she listens to the translated version of the tour script, while also being able to reference further photos and the transcript at any point.
Tepper 商学院提供本科、研究生、博士和高管教育项目，其教师和校友行列中拥有10位诺贝尔奖得主。
The menu allows the mom to freely navigate each
What
stop.
interestingly, in addition to making languages and cultures or the multilingualism of CMU more visible on campus, it also contributes to make the department more visible.
Between each stop, the mom browses through some related stories and picks one that she thinks her daughter might relate to.
嗨，大家好，我是莫培轩，是凯基梅隆大学一名大4的学生。今天我想分享的是我在学校极限飞盘队的一些故事。我是在大2的时候加入了学校女子的极限飞盘队 Mellon。在加入之前，其实我没有特别多运动的经历，所以我非常的忐忑。但是当我加入之后，才发现其实这在卡梅是一个非常正常的现象。
Once the tour ends, more student stories are recommended to the mom, and further FAQ questions are provided in her language. With all this information at hand, she is able to discuss with her daughter about what they've heard, seen, and observed from this experience.
So, another advantage is that this project got to involve our own GCAD students. So the master's student in translation got to participate in this project by contributing to the overseeing the translation efforts and so on and so forth. Because in the with the design team, we had to translate the official script into various languages. We have also relied on students who are already on campus who speak languages other than English natively to actually contribute anecdotes and their experiences at CMU to sort of enhance the online or the mobile-based campus tour. So what these experiences have in common is that they are all centered around making objects, which is by nature necessarily interdisciplinary and collaborative. The other thing that they have in common, this project, is that they encourage the students to envision and situate the learning in contexts that exceed the walls of the classroom and of the institution, frankly. And they strive not to be extractive. In each of these 3 projects, there is a give and take between the student team who contributes to the project and the project itself. It's we're not coming into the community asking people to contribute their time or their expertise and just appropriating all of this for just our own glory. So the City of Asylum students contributed projects to City of Asylum. The students in Nantes built projects that are now living on our campus at CMU. But while we were there, we actually had an exhibit of all of these projects so that the people that we had met or frankly the general public could actually come and interact with these projects before we left the city of Nantes. And we're hoping as the program continues that we will be able to leave some of these projects with the city of Nantes for other people to enjoy. And then, of course, in the case of Voxalburgh and the multilingual tour, the students actually built objects that will be then used by other people, either the campus visitors or other students to build projects or community members to build projects that allow them to tell their stories. So the benefits for the department itself. In some cases, it's kind of hard to measure. One thing that I will say is that it does force students and community members, campus members in other departments to realize that language and culture actually shapes everything that they do, more so than sometimes they had imagined. And so in doing this, not only do we increase the visibility of the department both on the CMU campus but also outside of its walls, but we may be able to actually draw more people to our courses by showing them, how these dimensions are critical and important. More importantly, though, I think what these partnerships do is that, well, for one thing, I think that they allowed me to become a much better teacher and look at what we do and how we conceive of language and culture and how we can actually deploy it and project it in ways that are dovetailing with the real world, but also powerful in hopefully ushering some social change. But as far as the students are concerned, I think these projects have helped design more meaningful and maybe ecologically valid learning experiences for the students. Experiences where, to paraphrase Katie Salen, who's a game designer in New York, where in these experiences the students are not so much recipients of knowledge as they are authors of understanding. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm not hard to find. Feel free to contact me and we can start a conversation. Thank you very much.